Hello everyone, in this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Shahbaz Gill to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Shahbaz Gill's words. First of all, the countdown. There are 64 days left until Field Marshal Asim Munir's second retirement and the arrival of a new army chief in the country. Now let's move to other important news. The very first and most important news is about President Trump, Field Marshal Asim Munir and Shehbaz Sharif's 1 hour and 20 minutes long meeting with President Trump in the Oval Office in Washington, D.C. First of all, here's some good news for you and us that one of our reports has been confirmed correct. We had been telling you for about 1.5 to 2 months that the Sharif family was making every possible effort to somehow arrange a meeting with President Trump. From their Indian lobby to their Middle East lobby, which is actually very influential, they were trying their best. And as you may recall, about 2 weeks ago I informed you that as soon as Field Marshal found out that the Sharif family, especially Shehbaz Sharif, might possibly get a meeting, he immediately changed his plans. Remember, earlier he was hiding in the UK and you didn't see him anywhere. The last time you saw him was in Saudi Arabia, when Pakistan and Saudi Arabia signed an agreement. You all know that was a strategic mutual defence agreement. That was the last time Field Marshal was seen there. After that, the Field Marshal stuck close to Shehbaz Sharif. In London, the intelligence agency kept a close watch on Shehbaz Sharif. They stayed very close, but out of the public eye. They stayed together so that Shehbaz Sharif wouldn't have any secret meetings in the UK or America that would reveal Field Marshal's extension plans. In America, too, they almost disappeared. No one saw them, not friends, not enemies, not even the press. They vanished like smoke in the air. But as soon as the meeting with President Trump was fixed, they suddenly appeared and stuck to Shehbaz Sharif like chewing gum. This meeting took place at 4:30 in the afternoon, Washington time, in the Oval Office. The meeting actually started about half an hour late, since President Trump had other commitments, you see. I had mentioned earlier that this meeting wasn't originally on President Trump's schedule. It happened quite suddenly, and that's why the Field Marshal was lying in wait and didn't let Shehbaz Sharif meet alone. The meeting was set for 4:30, and both gentlemen arrived and sat down. President Trump was holding a press conference with his supporters, and during that, he announced that two great leaders were coming to meet him, the Field Marshal and the Prime Minister. Oh? When President Trump entered the room, well, if you look at the pictures, both stood at attention. These photos are from the very moment President Trump was entering. Just look at their expressions and body language. The Field Marshal was standing at attention, but poor Shehbaz Sharif looked rather nervous. Anyway, when President Trump warmly greeted them, the meeting began. As I told you earlier, we don't have the exact details, but it said the meeting lasted about 1 hour to 1 hour and 20 minutes. Normally, such meetings include the press. For example, earlier when President Trump met Tayyip Erdogan, the press was present. But in this meeting, the press was kept outside. It was off-limits with no media interaction allowed. However, photos were taken. Remember, President Trump had given Imran Khan a full tour of the White House. Shehbaz Sharif was also given a tour, but not quite like Imran Khan got. It was a model of the White House on a tray, and Trump explained what everything was. When the photos were taken and the discussions happened, their body language was, well, very interesting. Both had their arms crossed and stood like master and servant. Their eye contact and other subtle cues clearly showed the dynamic between them. Anyway, yesterday, Shehbaz Sharif met at the United Nations for only 36 seconds, despite a $4.2 billion expense. At least there, he disproved everyone's idea, including mine, that the $4.2 billion was a small matter and something big was going to happen. Now, our information says the issue is the Abraham Accords. Yes, a lot of work has already been done on the Abraham Accords, and during today's meeting with President Trump, it was confirmed that the discussion was about this. The Abraham Accords basically mean recognizing Israel. Arab countries must recognize Israel, and Pakistan and other countries may also join. Earlier, President Trump also met with Tayyip Erdogan, but we won't discuss that now, maybe later. Shehbaz Sharif also met the current head of state of Bangladesh, but we'll talk about that some other time. Today, we only want to tell you about this meeting of the Field Marshal and Shehbaz Sharif with President Trump in the Oval Office. Since this was an official visit, they were given a red carpet welcome and proper protocol. But inside that 1 hour and 20 minutes, what was decided might shock you all, and Pakistan might have to pay a heavy price. On one hand, it's a matter of great happiness for them, they can't contain themselves, But from my perspective, their countdown starts today. The promises they've made, the Pakistani nation will never stand with them. Not just the nation, but many inside the Pakistani military won't support them either. So today, they've bitten off more than they can chew. Now we'll see if they can swallow it and digest it or not. That's the question. Now moving on to the next news, which will help you understand better. It's about the Abraham Accords and the agreement between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan. We will also share opinions from 3 top Pakistani analysts on this. This meeting between Trump and Shehbaz Sharif, where the field marshal deliberately stuck close, confirms our report that they didn't leave Shehbaz Sharif alone even for a moment. This meeting might reveal a lot. I want your comments because I regularly read your comments and need your special input on this, as our and your future is invested in this news. Sometimes we think only the greatest scholars understand things better, but I believe the larger wisdom of the public often surpasses even the experts. People sitting in remote villages of Punjab, Sindh, Balochistan, KP, Gilgit-Baltistan or Kashmir often understand and observe better than many big scholars. So your comments are very important. Write in Urdu or English or any language, I'll get it translated. Please write. Here is the news I have. The agreement between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia was made with the approval of the United States, meaning the US input was involved. Without the US, it wouldn't have happened. The Abraham Accords mean the Arab countries recognize Israel, and then all will happily coexist. It's said that in the deal, Palestinians might be displaced from Gaza to Yemen or other countries, with Arabs funding the relocation and resettlement. This is the Abraham Accord. In return, the relationship between Arab countries, Israel and the US will become friendlier. President Trump has already hinted at this, and other countries will also join the Abraham Accords soon. There was a hint toward Pakistan. Trump's son-in-law has also openly talked about this. Remember, if Hamas hadn't attacked Israel, Saudi ministers would have already visited Israel. The Abraham Accords were almost finalized with some conditions to be discussed. Now, here are views of 3 top personalities I take seriously. First, Shamshad Ahmad, the former Foreign Secretary, who is highly respected and very knowledgeable. He says the Pakistan-Saudi defense agreement was made with US consent. The Abraham Accord, he points out, involves recognizing Israel. He respects this view. Then there's Najam Sethi, politically biased against Imran Khan, but, a well-educated man and a sharp analyst. He says the US demands Pakistan quickly sign the Abraham Accord, and he discusses this regularly. And finally, retired Lieutenant General Tariq, a defense analyst, says the Pakistan-Saudi deal couldn't have happened without US approval. It's clear, he argues, that the real protector of the holy sites is the US, and they are pushing this deal. So all 3 agree the agreement was made with US consent and is part of the Abraham Accord. The basic aim of the Abraham Accord is for all Muslim countries to recognize Israel, to end conflicts about Israel's legitimacy. Pakistan has also been told that if other Muslim countries agree, it too must comply. If these 3 are right, it means Pakistan will soon recognize Israel and sign the Abraham Accord. We will discuss the implications for Israel and Palestine another day. Here's something else to show you. A photo came out showing the daughter of a woman sitting right behind Pakistan's foreign minister at the United Nations. Her name is Shama Janejo, and she had tweeted that she is assisting Shehbaz Sharif in the US with foreign policy. She deleted that tweet later. She is known for using very vulgar language, which I can't repeat here. She often curses. She curses women too, and men as well. Just take a look at this one screenshot. This is about Bushra's legitimate son when he was arrested a few months ago. Rather than saying something bad about the son or his father, she directly called Bushra Bibi, who was in jail, a fasha. Now what does fasha mean? You can understand that yourself. We, for one, cannot call this sister a fasha. Still, we will respect her. This is the kind of thing she does. She spreads fire, meaning she spreads hate and filth from every side. In this context, the Shahbaz Sharif, who is in their houses, also sends mangoes. Probably they have a daughter. If I'm not wrong, Shahbaz Sharif had also sent mango gifts to them in the past. Along with that, Shahbaz Sharif also honoured Shama Janju Saba with Tamga-e-Shujat, a bravery award. So we have brought this news in front of you. Obviously we got this news from social media, so we shared it because she first tweeted it and then deleted the tweet. I also told you the reason, that it was made a big issue, why she publicly announced it. The reason is that, in my opinion could be wrong, but I think she is a very useless woman. She has no credentials because, in my opinion, she acted for a short time in some PTV dramas, and in my opinion, she was a very unsuccessful actress. I watched some of her clips, and her acting was very amateurish. Because of this, she probably did not get much work in dramas. Her career never took off. After that, I think her husband had some job. They moved to Britain. She moved there with him and started giving dirty abuses to Imran Khan, his party, and everything that was not good for Pakistan. In my opinion, this is her only claim to fame, but she has another claim too. Look at this carefully, I'll tell you later. She had another tweet that was also deleted, but first watch this. She says, "I have been writing this since years and years." She says she has been writing for years that Pakistan should have used every position to negotiate long ago so that they could achieve recognizing Israel. So we should recognize Israel fairly. She says she has been writing this for years and we should achieve it. I mean, we should take advantage. Then she says that for people like me who don't understand English, she writes in Urdu that Pakistan should accept Israel. After that, God forbid, it seems she had cancer. If these social media posts are correct, then we are giving our opinion based on them. We don't know for sure. In those posts, she says that Allah saved her from cancer, which is a very good thing. May Allah keep her healthy. After that, Israel sent a message saying, "We are so happy that you are cancer-free," congratulating her and sharing her happiness. Then she says, "I have been advocating between Pakistan and Israel for years. That's why I am devastated to see them backing the wrong horse, Imran Khan." She says those who back Imran Khan are wrong. He is the wrong horse. If Israel and Pakistan want to come close, Imran Khan must be removed, meaning he must be kept in jail. He should not be backed or allowed to come into power. It pains her very much. She says it hurts somewhere in her chest, mind, heart. I don't know exactly. She says, "As a staunch advocate for Pakistan recognizing Israel, I am a big advocate that Pakistan should recognize Israel at all costs." She feels pain seeing people misguided toward IK instead of prioritizing this. There was a longer tweet, but we showed you just a short part. We will never lose hope. This was her tweet that Shamajanju Saba retweeted, the Israeli tweet. Not only that, she also praises Pakistanis in very good words. For example, there is a tweet where she calls someone Che, and says that if an Israeli had met her and called her Chi, it would have been an honor for her, like a medal, something she would put on her profile proudly and wouldn't hide it. Later, she also met an Israeli dignitary or a high-ranking diplomat and exaggerated the meeting very much. She says we should take care of ourselves. Then I remember another tweet of hers. Khawaja Saad Rafiq once said that those to whom you give favours may stab you in the back someday. He was referring to the Field Marshal. Saad Rafiq said that if we give so much respect to the boots, someday they will stab us. She tweeted that sometimes when someone stabs, you have to tie their legs and milk them too. So now she wants to tie the Field Marshal's legs and milk him too. I don't understand, since when she thinks the Field Marshal is an argument. It is understood that Khawaja Saad Rafiq meant that after getting their work done they will stab us. But this lady replied that it is very important to tie their legs and milk them, so she wants to milk the Field Marshal too. Anyway, that was said. Now, let's go back. She deleted 2 tweets. The first was about boarding Pakistan Air Force One and going to New York. She says, "As I'm sitting in Pakistan Air Force One, meaning the presidential or prime ministerial plane, going to the 80th United Nations General Assembly." She is giving herself some moments to reflect and write publicly what she had kept secret before. She says she is sharing previously secret information now. For the past several months, since April 2025, meaning at least 5 months, she has been quietly working behind the scenes as part of the advisory team for Prime Minister Mohammed Shahbaz Sharif. She's an advisor on diplomatic affairs and does his speechwriting precisely. She says her role has been to contribute to diplomatic engagement, policy briefing, strategic messaging, and most recently drafting the historic UNJ speech that clearly states Pakistan's stance. She claims to be very close to him, part of his advisory board, controlling his diplomatic engagements, who to meet and who not to meet. She writes his speeches. Also, someone asked her with respect that she is from Sindh and Junju, and since her home is in London, why does she stay in a hotel when delegations come? She replied that she has access to secret or sensitive top files of the Prime Minister, which she cannot take home, so she stays in hotels. This is a ridiculous claim. I've been with the Prime Minister. How could she have secret files? Anyway, that is my opinion. She tried to shine her business. She claims to have secret files, but I doubt Shahbaz Sharif himself has them. Still, she says she can't take files home, so she stays in hotels. So if this post is correct and is circulating everywhere on social media, then she admits that despite having a home in London, she stays in hotels with delegations. That's just an excuse of secret files. Otherwise, you remember when you were finally allowed to go home, they didn't kidnap you. You could leave files there, come home, work, sleep and change clothes the next day. If everything is free there, who would leave it? So my opinion is that maybe this is why she stays there. Anyway, looking at her past, she is a failed actress with no significant job or profession. We haven't heard her praised anywhere except through dirty abuses. Then this Israeli lobbying or opinion, she openly says she has been saying this for a long time. Now the whole Pakistan is tweeting that she is an Israeli lobbyist. How does she have so much access to the Prime Minister? Let me make it clear that everyone will now attack Shahbaz Sharif and blame him. This is definitely a gift from our generals. Shahbaz Sharif doesn't even have the courage to keep her and make her write speeches. This is a gift from the military. Remember that no Prime Minister would bring such a person near him. If the Prime Minister brought her on his own, many stories about her would have surfaced by now from the generals themselves. So these two tweets, one about boarding the plane and going, were deleted. The other one about secretly working with him since April, writing speeches and diplomatic engagement, all Israel-related. If you gather all these things with statements from 3 people, I will say that your passport is about to be revoked because this passport is not valid for Israel. Whether you like it or not, I leave it to you. Please give your opinion. But it is clear that these matters are directly handled by our generals. If anyone misunderstands that Shahbaz Sharif brought her, then that is your misconception. Poor Shahbaz Sharif only understands cooking. This is a gift from the generals. What is the level? Like when someone from a village goes to a city for the first time, they look like me talking. I'm a villager myself. This poor woman is the same because I told you her only career was a failed acting career. Apart from that, I don't know if she achieved anything big in life. She says Americans are friendlier than Europeans and adore her British accent. I didn't understand her British accent. It sounded quite local to me. She says New York police officers smiled a lot at her, welcoming her, and she replied in a cheerful, pure British way, "Good afternoon." Moments like these make her like America. She wrote a lot more, but that part didn't come in our screenshot. She mentioned about going to a fair, whether it was a Mela in Lahore or another place. Similarly, our sister went to see a Mela, and the American police rarely use such words as she did. I mean, smiles are smiles, but this Madam Sharma is something else. She says that sometimes you don't get appreciation at home or among friends, your self-esteem is low, you are demotivated, unhappy about yourself, feeling you haven't achieved much in life. So you get happy about small things like someone making you coffee and complimenting your dress, and you take it seriously instead of just a formality. She took that seriously. That wraps up our translation of Shahbaz Gill's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.